slash training, or those sampling black slash training. If you're not in it, that's all right. We're doing, what we typically do on the NACOM unit is after basic training we do, I have the prop and I'm not even talking about it. After the basic training we do NACOM improvement, which is taking one of the postures usually and getting very, very into the detail of it. So what I'm holding here is what we call our beginner textbook. It's Book of NACOM by C.K. Chu. I believe we have these at the school. If you want, we can get you one somehow. Otherwise, you can probably find it online, or I don't know if it's in print anymore. But, the Book of NACOM. I'll just give you this like a YouTube book review. It's got a lot of good diagrams for how to align yourself, the philosophy, and then pictures of all the postures and descriptions of how to go through them. So this is a good reference for this whole set of NACOM that we're doing. Okay, so the first one we'll start with, I'm not going to read from the book, but it's the same information. So I'll talk about the details, the finer points of embracing horse and what the common errors are or the gaps in understanding. And then we'll actually talk about, towards the end of the black slash training, we'll talk about the life skill, for those that are wondering about the life skill. We'll do that too. So, embracing horse. Shoulder width apart, let's start there. It's not really measure my shoulders and then apply that to my feet. The best reference that I've heard is if you took your hips and dropped lines straight down, those lines would be right inside your feet. So my feet are just outside where those, if I dropped weights off my hips, where they would hang. But really, what we call shoulder width is a balanced natural distance that you will come to learn for your own body. It's different for everybody. And it's occurring to me that although I can't look at you and give you immediate feedback, if you're not too self-conscious and you want to take a picture or have someone take a picture of your posture or something like that and send it in, we could use that and help correct in a sort of roundabout way. But anyway, shoulder width apart, toes in, outside edges of the feet parallel. That's the first part. So a lot of us, our toes will naturally just go out, so this feels a little different. It might feel strange. It's not too much, so that's where the outside edges of the feet parallel comes in. Bending the knees, sitting back. So if you can imagine you're sitting back on a stool, that's a good image, but then you might feel like you're tipping over backwards. So lean forward in the upper body and tuck the pelvis. Now, I'll show it from the side. As I sink down, I sit back, but I can't lean back. I have to lean forward to keep upright as I sit back. So it might feel too much. And it's actually okay at first to lean forward into it a little bit, really just to get that relaxed connection in the low back and through here. But eventually it will be upright. But once you practice embracing horse and start to get the alignment, the discomfort in the thighs will actually get more so. So when you first learn it, you don't quite have the alignment usually, and some of the pressure is going into the joints, into different places. And when you get into a correct embracing horse, that pressure is relieved from the joint and put into the muscles. So what does that feel like? It feels like you're using your muscles in ways you're not used to, maybe. What else about embracing horse? So, tucked pelvis. Oh, let's talk about chest concave. We didn't talk about that. You can't really do, let me see if I can give you an overhead view. The chest is not out. It's the idea that the chest is actually in a little bit to help create a connection across the back. And that connection across the back extends out into the arms and into the hands. So you feel connected from one arm across the back around to the other arm. Shoulders and elbows lowered. I talked about that a little bit before. But a lot of us carry tension up in our shoulders. Here's the chance to let it drop. Feel the weight of your shoulders. Really, it's feeling your shoulder sort of float in the socket. Elbows lowered, because if your elbow comes up, your shoulder naturally comes up. And then gently stretch through the wrist, through the fingers. So it's not, at first it might take this sort of limp look because you're just trying to relax, and that's okay. But really, the correct embracing horse is gently stretched through the fingertips. And that feeling of extension without tension can go to the whole body. as well. Now what about the head? What do you do with the head? Well, we're working on a neutral spine, whether or not you know it. So what's the next part of the neutral spine? It's not having my chin come out. So I'm going to let my chin tuck. Trying to align the spine so it comes up naturally. It might feel like the gentle stretch in the back of the neck, but it's not this much. Because the face weighs more, it's actually finding a balance point for the head. And then, let's see, last few details. Yeah, last few details, even the eyes are part of it. So I don't want to be focusing real hard. I want to let the eyes relax, almost like I'm sleepy. And with the correct alignment of the hands and with the chin tucked right, your eyesight, your gaze will fall through your hands out to the floor a little ways in front of you. So I'm not looking over the hands, I'm not looking under them, looking right through them. And a little below the camera. And that's embracing horse, the first posture. You know, if you're trying to start a home practice and you're like, I can't remember all 10 of those, or 7 today, but if you're like, if that's the reason not to practice, maybe not having time isn't a great reason right now, but maybe if you can't, your reason not practice would be that you can't remember all 10. That's okay. If you just remember embracing horse, and if you just have a minute, then that's better than nothing for getting a daily practice going. And you know, with a few classes, you can start to feel the results of these postures. But to really start feeling the benefits, some kind of daily practice is what it will usually take. So, yeah, nothing else from bracing horse. 2 to 3 minutes as a beginner, and then that time should be worked up as you have more experience and feedback on your alignment. Okay. So, we're almost out of time for black touch training anyway, so let's talk about the life skill. There was a question about how to do the life skill. So we have 5 different life skills for the different animals in the Chinese martial arts. This one is the focused mind. So to get the hand for the focused mind, you'll do this hand position called one finger divides China. You'll take your right hand, spread the fingers a bit, and then without bending your index finger, you're going to grab with the thumb and the other 3 fingers. So feel the palm coming forward, feel like you're grabbing with the other 3 fingers on the thumbs, and have the index finger extended, like you're digging in. Yeah. And then, path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. When we go out into the stance, it's what's called a bow stance in Kung Fu. And I won't do it justice right now, but basically it's the left leg bent and the right leg straight. And the left hand will be in a fist called chamber, we call it. It's pulled back by the side, by the ribs. And then the one finger will go out front. So, all right. So the path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. So keep facing that way, I'll face you. The path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. One more. The path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. All right. In the black touch training, bow to each other.